Step 1, draw your landmark. So I'm going to demonstrate with Nubble Lighthouse. So what I'm going to do is first look at the main shapes that I see. So I see this kind of square shape with a triangle top as one of the main shapes in the house, and then I see this cylindrical kind of shape of the tower over here. And I also see the horizon line stretching from one side to the other. So I'm going to start by drawing in that horizon line. And the horizon line is where the ground meets the sky. So ground, sky. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in my tower. I'm noticing that this line kind of connects all the way across. So sometimes you might make a mistake, and that's okay. You might just use your eraser to go back and make any changes that you need to make. Also knowing that it doesn't have to be perfect. Step 2, trace the back of your drawing to get the reverse image. Alright, so step number 2, after you've done your observational drawing, is to flip this over, especially if you have writing, and you're going to take it to a window and trace what you see right through. You might be able to see right through your paper, so I luckily can, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw the mirror image. And the reason for this is that we are going to be printing it, and in order for it to print right side, we're going to have to put it face down this way. So it's kind of confusing, but all you need to know right now is that this is the side that we're going to be etching onto your styrofoam. Step 3, trace your mirror image onto the foam. Okay, so for step number 3, you're going to take your drawing, which you've really spent your time on, and you're going to take a piece of styrofoam, and what you're going to do is place your drawing. So here's my original. I'm going to put the original side face down, and I'm looking at just my mirror image. So it's a mirror image because it's the reverse of my original photograph. And I'm simply going to tape that down onto my styrofoam. Then what I'm going to do is, again, press in and imprint all of my lines onto the styrofoam. Now, a really bright student yesterday mentioned that a really good way to do this would be to use another color instead of my pencil. So I'm actually going to use a colored pencil to do this step. That way I know where I have covered. If I use the pencil again, then we might not know what I've done and what I haven't done. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a colored pencil, and we'll get going. Some of these details I'm not even going to do with my tracing over. I'm going to lift it up and I can add them on afterward. So I'm really just looking at the main shapes. And then we can add detail later, like the shingles, like the texture of the grass, and like the lines in the fence. So that should be pretty good. What I'm going to do now is lift up my drawing. And it should have made an imprint. So you can see really faintly that it carved in. What you now have to do is go over all of those lines again to make sure that they're really deep, because what we're going to do next week is take all types of color of block printing ink, and we're going to ink up our styrofoam and make multiple prints. So we're going to make sure that this is all ready for next week. So I'm going to carve back in with a pencil. Now, because I'm working on my foam, I need to make sure I'm doing my absolute neatest work, because this is the final image that is going to print. Okay, so at this point, I might say that's pretty good and do a test run next week when we use ink. And then if I decide that it needs some more carving, I can go ahead and add more before I print again.